Welcome back to CIE Group. You join us at the Security Event 2025, and I've stopped for coffee at the CIE Coffee Bar with Steve Greenaway from Third Millenium. Steve, thank you for joining us. Really exciting to have the Third Millenium product as a brand new product range to CIE, but not only that, Steve, you've brought us along your latest product in the form of the QR reader.
Indeed, thanks Chris, and thanks for having us again. Yeah, we've brought the QR code reader, which is officially launched at the show. We're really pleased to be showing it for the first time. It's quite unique in the offering of QR in that we have OSTP along the QR as well as a multi-technology reader. So rather than individual component parts, we have a one-piece assembly that offers high security data communications from both QR and the access control.
So let's talk about application of QR code for those who don't know. We all know that pre-lockdown, nobody was using QR codes whatsoever. During lockdown, we saw a real growth in their use, and that technology, it's not new technology, but the application for access control has really taken off now, and that really is for a temporary key access, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So if we look at the marketplace pre-COVID, a lot of the larger corporations and larger companies would have staff on reception. And the staff on reception would ask you to take a seat, sign in on a piece of paper, and would actually get in touch with the people within the organization that you were about to see. When COVID came and went, a lot of the staff that had been employed on reception were no longer employed. And the market looked at how they could effectively notify the people who were expecting visitors that the visitors had arrived, and give those visitors access to the inner area where they could sit down and have a cup of water or a cup of coffee while they were waiting. So QR made its way into the marketplace as a temporary visitor pass, and the access control systems were amended so that when that temporary visitor pass was shown to the QR code reader, actually it was the access control system that notified the employee that their visitor was waiting in reception. So it's a product in terms of QR that's been around for many, many years, but it's relatively new in access control.
And if we talk about its application and where it really fits into the verticals, certainly the residential, the MDU market, where you're seeing a huge growth, of course, in all of those Deliveroo and Amazon deliveries where they might simply have single key access to the front door to leave parcels in security, for instance. If you've got cleaners coming in or you've got service staff coming in, that key can be generated for one day or specific days of the week, specific hours, for instance.
Yeah, so it's important really to note that the QR code reader itself has no intelligence. It doesn't make any decisions. It simply transmits the data that it sees in front of it. So the access rights, times, and so on and so forth are allocated by the system. And that system encodes that data into the QR. And as soon as the reader transmits the data so that it is activated within the system, then those constraints come into force in terms of time and indeed in terms of access rights. Because if you use the QR code reader within the building, so rather than just front of house, then you can actually give your customers, your visitors, access to certain parts of the building, to the restrooms, to the canteen, rather than just keep them in the reception area.
And then let's just talk about how those QR codes are generated. Is it a web interface? Is it an app?
Yeah, so it's very much a web interface and it's an app. So the QR code will be generated within the access control visitor management system. That will then be sent to your mobile phone. It can also be sent to your computer. So if we take the mobile phone application, then it's simply a photograph. So that would come to your email. You would open your email, open up the barcodes, the QR code that you see, and that is immediately active. You're then able to print that. There are security-related issues with printing static QR codes because QR codes, are not a security item. They're a convenience. They're an enabler. They should not be considered secure.
But I guess in the same place, the flexibility of that QR code and how it's generated, that can be retracted in a blink as well. So if there is a security problem, i.e. you're worried that a QR code key has been shared, it can be immediately switched.
It can, and again, that is important to note. That is a function of the system, not of the QR code reader. But that can instantly be removed, so access rights can be removed instantly within that system. And of course, there is another option now. There is, a relatively new development in QR, and that is dynamic QR. You see that a lot used in football ticketing and rugby match ticketing, so that they cannot be shared. They are very much one time, they're dynamic, they change all the time, and you can't do a screenshot and you can't photocopy.
Steve, thank you for joining us. Great to see these new products. If you'd like to find out more about the Third Millenium range and of course the brand new QR code reader, click on the links below or join us at ciegroup.com.